Hello and welcome. My name is Tom Shima, and I'm going to do something a little bit different today. I decided this is a great opportunity to play a classic, Donkey Kong Country. It's a classic for a reason. So many people have so many fond memories of it. I'm one of those people, and I want to just kind of share that experience with all of you. I don't claim to be any sort of pro at the game. This is just going to be a nice casual playthrough. I've never actually beaten the game in its entirety. I've played it many times in the past, and it holds a special place in my heart. Let's just kind of go through and enjoy it together. I'm going to start off by going through, like all sorts of classic games did in the past, and I'm going to read the instruction booklet. There's a couple-page introduction for what the story behind the game is. That was kind of par for the course back in the day. That was where the story was typically presented, so I'll get us all caught up on the same page there. But I will have a timestamp available in the description if you want to jump ahead and get right to the gameplay. So, here we go. Donkey Kong Country. It was a dark and stormy night. Storms lashed the rugged terrain of Donkey Kong Island, home of the famous video game ape and his family and friends. Near Donkey Kong's treehouse, a small monkey named Diddy cowered in fear of the savage lightning which periodically illuminated the lush, dark jungle that covered most of the island. Donkey Kong had assigned Diddy to guard duty on this awful night, and he was not happy about his fate. Donkey Kong's earlier pep talk kept creeping back into Diddy's mind. "Okay, little buddy," Donkey had said in his patronizing voice. "As part of your hero training, you've got to stand guard tonight over my bananas. I'll relieve you at midnight, so try and stay awake until then." Buddy? Yeah, right. Now he was alone. Alone unless you counted the unknown threats which lurked behind every tree that he glimpsed during the lightning flashes. The Kremlings were out there, this much was certain. They coveted Donkey Kong's banana stockpile, the largest in the island and probably the world. A treasure in potassium and vitamin A, the perfect food. Ah, delicious bananas. The thought of DK's golden banana hoard almost made Diddy forget his uncomfortable situation. But a rustling in the undergrowth and the sound of several snapping twigs brought him out of his reverie. "Who goes there?" Diddy challenged the sound of the darkening, dripping foliage. There was no answer but the flashing of claws and teeth, followed by a fleeting vision of many reptilian eyes and a crack of thunder. Diddy somersaulted into the fray with his signature cartwheel attack, but he was quickly overcome by the weight of many scaly assailants. The enormous bulk of Clump the Kremling landed on top of Diddy, knocking him senseless. His last memory was of a hissing voice. "It's the small one. Seal him inside this barrel and toss it into the bushes. Donkey Kong's bananas are ours." The barrel lid closed on Diddy, blotting out even the fleeting light of the storm. Seconds later, the barrel flew through the air courtesy of Clump's army boot-assisted punt and landed roughly in the jungle foliage. Diddy Kong knew no more. The entire Donkey Kong clan was oblivious as the Kremlings then loaded the bananas inside their Kremling carts and wheeled them off through the jungle, leaving an obvious trail of dropped fruit from their overloaded conveyances. The next morning, Donkey Kong was awakened by frantic shouting of his name. "Keep it down," he growled. He suddenly realized what time it was. "Morning already? I slept through my watch." Falling out of bed and through his treehouse door, Donkey Kong slid down the treehouse ladder without even using any of the rungs, and assumed his characteristic fighting pose, with sun-blinded squinting eyes. One swift blow was all that was needed to leave him sprawled on the floor, face down. He groggily rolled over to see the familiar wrinkled, white-bearded, grouchy face of his old granddad Cranky Kong peering down at him. In his heyday, Cranky was the original Donkey Kong who battled Mario in several of his own games. "What you do that for?" Donkey Kong asked, knowing full well that Cranky was prone to cuffing him at every whim. "Take a look inside your banana cave. You're in for a big surprise," Cranky cackled. Donkey's mind raced as he vaulted to the cave and peered inside. Instead of a dull golden glow of thousands of bananas, there were only a few discarded peels. These had been trampled into the dirt by hundreds of reptilian feet, judging from the many three-toed footprints that covered the damp cavern floor. But what about... "Diddy's gone too," Cranky laughed. "That's what you get for shirking your responsibilities, you good-for-nothing bum. In my days, we would have been happy to stand guard in the rain, because that might have meant having an extra frame of animation. Of course, having rain would have been impossible, given our pitiful processing power, but..." Donkey Kong stood there in stunned disbelief, and hadn't heard most of what Cranky said. "Diddy? Gone? My little buddy? he murmured to himself. Donkey Kong was suddenly filled with conviction. "The Kremlings will pay," he raged. "I'll hunt them down through every corner of my island until I have every last banana from my hoard back." "Find your little buddy and retrieve a bunch of bananas?" Cranky snorted. "What kind of game idea is that? Where's the screaming damsel in distress?" Diddy's obsession with being like me has gone too far. He may be a long way from being a true video game hero, but he has the guts, the reflexes, the heart. "If you ask me, neither of you are ready for prime time," Cranky interrupted. "You'll never be as popular a character as I was. Why, in my heyday, kids lined up to play my games. The quarters were stacked on the machine as they waited their turn. If you go on this ridiculous adventure, you'll be lucky to sell 10 copies. Donkey Kong fumed. He usually let Cranky's ramblings roll off his back, but this time was different. "What do you know about adventuring, you old flea-bitten old ape?" yelled Donkey Kong, edging closer and closer, braving Cranky's cane until he was totally in his face. "I'm sick of hearing about your boring single-screen adventures. Diddy's in trouble, my banana hoard is gone, and I'm going to get them all back." Donkey Kong stomped off in search of his missing buddy, following the trail of bananas the Kremlings had dropped. "Well, it's not exactly rescuing a princess, but it'll do in a pinch," Cranky snorted as DK disappeared into the lush jungle. After a moment's hesitation, Cranky followed him. "The lad may need my help," he mumbled to himself. "Kids today, they just don't have any respect for their elders." Okay, so that was the official instruction booklet provided backstory for Donkey Kong Country. Now that we know what's going on there, let's head off to the game and experience the first segment of Donkey Kong Country. There we go. I had audio, but I was waiting for that video to show up. I remember this opening so fondly. The music in this entire game is just such a treat. And it'll just loop there, but let's get right into it. We're going to go with obviously one player here. Just seeing this game again, there's so much of this, the visuals, the art style, the sounds, all of it that just takes me right back. I remember this was a game that was pretty common at McDonald's when I was a kid. There were 3 Super Nintendos, and they played, there was one that had Mario All-Stars on it. There was, I think it was Disney's Jungle Book, and then there was Donkey Kong Country here. And it was always just so much fun to get to come and just try my hand and see what I could do, and just to get right into it here. Here is Diddy. That was that barrel that was punted off in the instruction book. This is that banana hoard as well. Looking a little worse for the wear there, but hopefully we can remedy that in the coming days. And this is just kind of a casual playthrough here. I'm going to do my best, but like I said, I'm not anywhere close to an expert at the game. There are secrets I'm not aware of, all that good stuff, but I'm hoping it'll be fun. I've been looking forward to it. You can see we're finding these Kong letters. If you find all 4 of those, spell the word Kong, you get an extra life. Something tells me I'm going to need all the lives I can get. This is Rambi the Rhino, I believe. Sometimes you'll find breakable areas that aren't really notable, but if you've got the right ride, you can get in. I'm going to be kind of in the dark as we get further into the game because I didn't make it that far as a kid. But it was always that challenge, too, because you're playing in a shared environment like that. And, you don't really have that luxury of playing for hours at a time when you're at a restaurant. But that was the first level. Nice. On to Ropey Rampage. And just thinking back to when this game was new, I was like, being able to get up to weird places like this. But, how cool these graphics were as a kid. I mean, they're still great now, but just to see the Super Nintendo was capable of something like this in 94, 95? Yeah, they just, at the McDonald's that I grew up near, you could just play for free. They had those 3 Super Nintendos. It was still a public place, so you couldn't just monopolize them. I mean, I guess there was some level of just being a kid and having to share stuff. But yeah, they didn't charge anything extra for it. The 90s were a fun time. A little greedy there. Good times indeed, yes. It's kind of fun reading the instructions here too, and talking about Cranky talking about the rain and how he would have given everything he had to spend some time out in the rain. You didn't get that back in his day. Ooh. I guess let's not get too greedy. But seeing the rain there, I wonder if I can get up here. Yeah, there we go. I think I'm gonna need all these lives I can get. But just enjoying that rain. Again, this was that Super Nintendo showing off what it could do. Rare made such a great experience here. They made their 3D rendered characters and put them into the game here. Come over here. Let me get a look at you. This is Cranky Kong. And what little we did have, we were happy with. Well, I've never seen anything like it. He really fits that lecturing old guy. Enjoy this. In jungle hijinks, stick to the treetops to earn some extra lives. Funky can send you anywhere you've already been on the island in a flash. Make sure to shut the gate on your way out. I didn't raise you in a barn. So yeah, just kind of get, talked to from Cranky like that. Off to Reptile Rumble. Always kind of nice to find that DK barrel, because not only is it just nice to have, that other player there, but he kind of functions as almost he is an extra hit. If I get hit with Donkey Kong, it'll switch to Diddy or vice versa. And it's, if you get hit and it's just you by yourself, that's the loss of a life. Ooh. Sometimes you'll find barrels like this around. They'll take you off to bonus places. Some I'll remember, plenty I won't. Nice. I love these ones that just kind of automatically shoot you on a cool path like that. 100 bananas is a free life. These nice blind jump down. I'm sure there's a lot of you watching that are wishing I would hurry up, but almost got hesitant there. Yeah, that banana is tempting, but I'm not sure I can survive the path, so. This is definitely the kind of platformer action type thing that does work well when you just are able to know the level and run through at a good solid pace. So many old platformers were like that. I'm taking too long for Donkey Kong here, but the star barrel above me is a checkpoint. So now if something goes wrong, I'll start here instead. Oh. There's one of those hidden spots again. Alright, nice little bonus. Do I need the bananas? Every 100 bananas is an extra life, so can't hurt to have them. And Donkey Kong's trying to reclaim his banana horde, so story-wise there's some benefit there, maybe. I believe these golden animal things I'm finding, if I find 3 of those, it either gives me more lives or it unlocks a bonus area, maybe. That was in the instruction book there. If I'd gone back, I could have read more. And again, I mean, I can't stop saying good things about the music in this game, but just the way they use the channels, that slight echo reverb in the caves here. There are so many iconic bits of music from this game, this franchise. I believe we're going to get to hear another one here in Coral Capers, because I believe we are going to be underwater for this one, which should mean aquatic ambience, if I remember right. Yes. This is such a classic tune. And nice old games with like little secret areas like this. I don't know that there was anything that would really tell me to go down here, but I just was like trying to stay out of the way and found a nice little cache of bananas for my effort, or my luck, really. Okay, nice little down arrow there. Let's follow its implied direction. I don't remember all the animal names, but was this on guard maybe? But it's a lot easier to control, and I've got that dash motion here, which can. Well, oh, okay. Maybe I can catch back up with him. All right. I mean, what I was gonna say is it's nice to have that extra bit of control here, and I guess I'll let that fish. He wins. But I don't need to tap a swim button at this point. I can just kind of use the D-pad to move. Another arrow. It served me well last time. Oop. All right. Well, I guess I can't beat those enemies. Let's hope he comes back. Alright. I'm apparently not the most accurate with this lunge attack. Got one, okay. And I don't believe there's any sort of score counter, so there's nothing really that needs me to be defeating these enemies, but if anything, it's probably an unnecessary risk. Ooh, a fork in the road. I mean, there's bananas this way, but I missed the O. I'm not going to go back and look for it, but I think the game also keeps track of a completion percentage, and so things like finding all of the different Donkey Kong letters and secret exits kind of go into that overall percentage. I'm just kind of playing a nice casual approach here, and if I can finish the game throughout this week, that's really my goal. Whatever percent I get will be good. I knew I couldn't beat that enemy, but somehow my brain just saw it, and it's like, let's go for it anyway. I think the exit's right near here, if I remember, but that much less control. Oh yeah, there's the exit, okay. Coming up here, this is Funky's Flights. Funky Kong helps us get from world to world. There's only one area right now. Whoa, dudes, my name's Funky Kong. My bodacious jumbo barrel can launch you to any point on the island. Most unfortunately, it can only send you to a place you've already been to. Which is a complete and total bummer, let me tell you. So yeah, I could hop in here, and if we had other areas unlocked, I could use it to go from one to the next, but this is the only thing we have so far. Yeah, they are very nice, sharp graphics. So we're off to Barrel Canyon Canyon. If memory serves, this area gave me some trouble in the past. I didn't exactly remember that was there, but I always like to try to go above the entrances because sometimes there are things like that, so this was one of those times. And these barrels with that white mark on them, they'll automatically fire as soon as Donkey Kong gets in them. I guess we're kind of just getting an up-top path over most of the level here. I'm Not really going to argue with that. Those blind jumps down are always kind of dubious. But yeah, I remember this area. Because these barrels I can fire myself out of whenever I want. For good or bad. And the game isn't super punishing, but it's also not going to hold your hand and be overly forgiving either. Nice. So that's the halfway point on this level, though. Sometimes these TNT barrels can open up secluded areas. Not exactly sure where, and not every time either, so... Well, we lost it. It was close, though. Okay, and now we've kind of had that practice section before, so now we get to introduce some of the... whatever the bees' names were in here. Just to make it that much more complicated. Oh. And that was not expected either. That was kind of a nice little game being generous. Like, okay, you didn't quite make that one. We'll catch you this time, but not next time. So yeah, not quite that time. But that's where it's nice to have a checkpoint. And that was so very much one of those, not waiting around sort of things. Oh, well, I didn't think I had two of the letters. I'll take that. If you lose all your lives, I believe you get sent back to the title screen. But there are Candy's save points here. We just made it 2, so this will let me... Hi, I'm Candy Kong, and this is my save point. If you want to save your current game, jump into the spinning barrel, or the spinning save barrel. Always good to save my game. So now, if something goes wrong and I lose all my lives, I can load from here, basically, and keep my progress. So we'll be seeing a lot of Candy, because I'm going to be nice and paranoid about that and want to save as much as I can. And I believe this is our first boss, Very Naughty's Lair. One of those nice old Super Nintendo style bosses that just gets faster and faster until... There we go. So that is the first area of the game. That was Congo Jungle. That takes us off to the Monkey Mines. Into Winky's Walkway. And you can also switch which character you're controlling. I think Diddy Kong jumps a little bit better than Donkey Kong. Can't exactly remember what the main benefit. I mean, I'm assuming it's just jumping ability here, but we got a checkpoint. That's always nice. Yeah, so I remember playing a lot of this game in the past, but never actually finishing it, so... Okay, bonus barrel. Ah, that's why I wanted to have this frog. Bunch of free bananas. So the further I get in, the less I might actually actively remember, but... It's a classic game. You can't go wrong with it. So that's our second golden ostrich. Haven't done all the Kong ladders in a level in a while. That's kind of nice to see again. Nice, basic platforming, but also nice and tight enough that it feels like there's good control over it. Mistakes are your own. It's not like the game is against you in any of these. If I make a mistake, I made that mistake. Now, Minecart Carnage. I believe this is kind of one of those old gaming experiences a lot of people have like as a rite of passage in gaming. It's yes, it's a minecart level. This one is tight, and it does reward well-timed jumps and punish not well-timed jumps. Alright, well I got a checkpoint, that's encouraging. Ooh, I felt like I jumped a little late on that one. Oh, so close. I thought there might be one or two more, but it picks up speed nice and fast. That red balloon back there, that is an extra life, so if I can get brave enough to try to take the lower path back there, if I end up back here a few more times, that might be to my benefit. That we slow down just enough there that it throws my timing off. All right. It's also one of those old, classic game styles of do the level a few times and learn the patterns and understand them by the next time you're there. So it's that rewarding old kind of platforming. Sometimes you'll find tires like this that you can push around, and I don't exactly remember where I'm supposed to go with this one, but something tells me that if I go back to the beginning of the level, I'm again, like I like to do, I'm not going to go with any sort of guides or anything, but in old, my experience remembering and playing games, I may have wedged it here. Oh yeah, there's a golden idol up there. Okay. Well, would have been nice, but who knows? Maybe I'll end up back here sooner than later. There's a Donkey Kong barrel. Sometimes it's almost hard to tell where there's a gap and where there isn't as well. Interesting. Yeah, there seems to potentially be a path down below, but... Oh, I guess maybe there isn't one above. Cool. Yeah, for 3 bananas, I'm not sure I want to risk that. Interesting. I don't know where I'm going, but I'll pick up this frog character here. Why not? Oh, we got way up there. Oh, that all happened so fast. That's why it's always nice to have that checkpoint. Oh, I got greedy. I saw the barrel, I heard the barrel, and I totally ignored the threats around it. So again, that was one of those all on me sort of problems. So yes, for any of you big Donkey Kong Country fans watching this, I'm sorry, it's probably not the it's not the high-level play you might be expecting from a stream, but hopefully it's still been, fun to be seeing so far. Cringe as some of it is. Okay, let's take this a little smarter this time. All right. This is the one. Okay, yep, there's a threat here. All right. You can kind of use these Donkey Kong gliders to know about how far you are into the level as well, because they're always in the order of K-O-N-G. So as you start to see later in the word, you'll know that you're closer to the end of the level. Yeah, it's a very atmospheric music. I'm not sure what's in that blast barrel there, but I kind of want to experience it. Typically, these lead to bonus areas. Okay, I see the exit. This is the kind of game, too, where you still want to have that little bit of caution as you approach, because it doesn't always mean you're in the clear as soon as you see it. This is Stop and Go Station. I believe this is another one of those iconic Donkey Kong Country levels. Potentially some flashing lights here too, in case that affects any of you watching. You'll see these running guys. We can stop them by turning these to stop. But eventually the lights will turn back to green and they will go. And so, like, once you can stop the bad guys, you gotta go. Like, even that I feel like might have been a little bit too close. It's that challenge of trying to get through the guys before they start going again. A classic experience. I'd like to assume that below there is somewhere safe, but I see a checkpoint here, so that's even more entertaining. Ooh. That was close. I probably shouldn't have abandoned that O back there. I love their level design here. I mean, just how tight that was. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay, well, that's one way to approach it. Now we're hopefully going to learn from that. That tire stays important. Okay. All right, there we go. I can feel like I was a little locked in and focused on that one, so sorry if I was, ignoring all you guys. I see Candy's save point here, though, so you'll love to see that. Can I help you save your game? Help you monkeys save your game? Yeah, absolutely. That's 14% then. We're looking good. And here's Funky's Flights in case we want to go back to the first area. And you can replay any old level looking for other secrets or potentially farming bananas for some extra lives. So there's benefit to going back. Like I said, I'm not going for that 100% run or anything, but we'll get what we can. And this is Millstone Mayhem. Yep, I say so often it feels like there's something hidden before the very start of the level here. Nice little temple atmosphere area here. These are probably those millstone ideas they were talking about. Ooh, I can see a bonus barrel up there. I think it's a little beyond my jump. Yeah, it's always nice to carry those TNT barrels and find where they go. Aha. That's a 2-up, I'll take that. I don't think our lives carry over when we load the game, but I'll take as many as I can get while we're playing today. That's another reason we can come back and farm them. This is a level I feel like I remember bits and pieces of. Like one of these times I'm going to make a jump, and it's going to take me going. Ooh, just made that. That hissing sound effect they use for the snakes when you defeat them. Ooh, that guy's moving. This is a tight turnaround. I didn't actually see that working out the way it did, so I'm happy it did. Seeing these arrow signs too kind of makes me want to rush ahead, and then that would have put me right in harm's way. And seeing stuff like that, it's like, there's got to be a way to do that properly, but I'm not sure if there was an animal I could have found, but there's an exit here, so I will take the exit. See what sort of advice Cranky has for me at his cabin this time. Fancy running into you two way out here. That's right, 4 shades of gray and a 2x2 character block, that's all we had. I can't play this game, the colors are all too rich for my poor old eyes. Well, even the bananas have more frames and colors than I had in the entire game. Look at this, as I rock my beard swings. Waste of frames, in my opinion. Aye, that was when we had real gameplay, that was. And this was developed with the latest state-of-the-art 3D work thingies, was it? In jungle hijinks, stick to the treetops, 30 extra lives. It's been nice talking to you guys. So just to kind of get to hear him rant about the good old days and give some hints about the area as well. I believe we are coming up on, yes, this is Necky's Nuts, the next boss area. You can tell by the stack of bananas there. I'm going to be that guy and head back to talk to Candy and save my game again. Yoo-hoo, Honey Kong. Now's a good time to save. All right. 17% already. It's actually kind of wild to think. Becoming self-aware, yes. A scary thought, having Cranky out here in the world with all of us. Okay, so yes, this is the boss for this area, Necky's Nuts. Alright, I'm off to a good start. Alright, I will say he won that one. It wasn't exactly close. Okay. Okay, I think. All right. Well, that was World 2 completed already then. We're making a good pace through this game. My tentative game plan, there are 7 bosses in this game, was to do... Yeah, we've got a few days of shorter games in our other games, so I was going to kind of make this go for a 4-day span. We can go a little bit further, I think. I don't want to underestimate the latter half of the game where it's going to get that much more difficult and potentially take me more time, so we'll go a little bit further here. Another fun atmospheric area. And just the vibrant colors and the layers they were able to do with the different, levels and layers of things. Very nice. Playtime on this game seems to be around 4 to 5 hours for most people. Okay, I had to throw it. Sometimes I can walk into these walls and have them break, but... I can just farm some bananas here, potentially. Okay, nice, and a 1-up. I was wondering if I was just going to keep going, or if I was just risking my own life. Trying to get more bananas in an ironic nothing ventured, nothing gained idea. It's so weird with this level, too, that I'm launching myself into these enemies and using them as steps, basically. All right, we'll get there. I don't know why this is fighting me as it is. Okay, there we go. 12th time was the charm, or whatever that was. And knowing that I need to use these birds sometimes as steps, it's dangerous to throw a barrel forward into these. I've been leaving all sorts of letters on the board. I really shouldn't have thrown that barrel away. I got lucky though, so I won't argue with that. Oh man. was doing so well with those for a while. There's the exit. That's right, we're wearing red. It's a good color. Ooh, I think I saw something. Yeah, there's a barrel back there. It's a little out of my jumping range, though, so I wonder. Not sure what I was going for there, but apparently it wasn't that. This is another of those great levels full of layers. If you look all the way back there, the different levels of trees that you're seeing move. The smoky haze back there, the ladders silhouetting the distance, really gives that cool sense of scale and depth to the place. A lot of those sections it's just better to go than it is to wait and try to time it out, or at least for me it is. I definitely get in my own head with stuff like that. Okay. Yep, that's what that would do. That's better. And so yeah, this is one of those where it's like I'm going to shoot myself into one that'll instantly turn and shoot me back out, so... There's the part of me that sees that one banana down there and thinks, what is the reason for that? But... It is nice that it's really quick to get back into the level after one of those little missteps. Sorry, Diddy. There he is. How far back can I go? I can probably, in most levels, go all the way back to the beginning, though certain times where you have to clear big gaps, it's harder to actually go backwards. But I can take Funky Kong, and he'll fly me back to any level from any other world I've beaten, so... Level-wise, I can start any... I got lucky lucky with those barrels there. I could go back to any level I wanted to play again. So that's what that banana's there for. That's that consolation prize. Okay, so this is about where we made it last time. Okay, I can see that other barrel just at the edge of my... There it is. Well, I'm consistent. There's something to be said for that, right? Well, we're down to single digits for our lives. Diddy carries the barrel slightly differently than Donkey Kong does, so I can't just run through enemies with Diddy carrying the barrel. All right, 2 of us again. I'm going to stick with Donkey Kong because he seems to be who I seem to be better with. Almost missed that one. Okay. A nice little safety barrel there for a nice little bit of pity. I'll take it. I don't want to keep taking it, but I'm glad it's there. Okay, nice and easy. Okay, we're pretty close here. I don't want to overshoot that gap again. All right, well, it was an ordeal, but we made it. And actually saying that and burning through all the level of the lives I did, let's take Funky's flights and just kind of, go back through and see the other world again. Yo, gorillas, go see Old Man Cranky. He can help you out. The biggest thing I want to do is just kind of take a ride back to Congo Jungle here. How about that? And we're just going to go first off and save the game with Candy. I like saving the game. It's what I do. It must have been hard work for you to come all this way. Why not save your game? I love saving the game. We've completed 2 worlds. We saw a little bit of the third area there. Took me a good handful of lives to get through where I did. I don't remember if back in Jungle Hijinks here, if I go to my banana hoard, if there's anything there now that I've found some of those big gold bananas. Nope, still just as empty as it was. Good music, though. I mean, I can keep saying that. Oh. And Schmidt Wild, thank you so much for the follow. I'm sorry I took this long to notice that. I've been having some issues with my activity feed, but thank you. I really appreciate it. This is just kind of a good showing that you can go back through old areas and see and experience different things. I can keep coming back here if I wanted to for more one-ups and other things. Almost walked right into an enemy there. Oh, that's right. It's an animal-themed bonus stage. That's what happens when you collect 3 of those golden animals. And the goal is just to collect as many of these as you can, and I think it translates to 1-ups at the end. And yeah, if the levels keep getting more and more difficult like they have been, I am going to see myself needing to come back and potentially farm some lives like this. But the game is so nice and it's so quick to get back into the action. It's not like one of those where you have to wait through a bunch of loading screens and things. And, you fail and you're right back at it. And it hasn't felt like any of those times the mistakes have been unfair design. It wasn't like, oh, the level got me and it shouldn't have happened. It was like, no, I was the one that didn't quite make it work out. Not really farming a bunch extra lives here because I don't think they're going to carry over from one playthrough to the next, but and the other thing here too is I could always I could exit the level earlier if I want to just be done with the level, so you don't have to go all the way through to the exit of a level that you've already beaten. Which I think could probably be abused in a nice way if there's something if I knew there was like an early 1-up or something. But if I come into any level I've already beaten, I think I just need to pause and press select maybe. Yeah, just like that, I'm back to the map. It's all coming back to me. But having that last level take a good handful of my lives, and the fact that I want to play this for a few more days this week kind of suggests to me this is a good place to save it. So let's make our way back to Candy and enjoy her hospitality as she saves our game for us. So that is 21% of the game. Kind of wild to think already. But yeah, let's take the first day of Donkey Kong Country and make our progress what it was for there. It's been so fun coming back to this game and getting to experience it. And like I say, the plan is to beat it this week. I've never actually beaten it from start to finish, so that's going to be one of those gaming milestone accomplishments for me in my life. The game means so much to me from what I played it as a kid. So to actually go through and give it that proper playthrough that it deserves and to re-experience it and to see all of it, that's just really what I'm looking forward to doing here. But I guess we can wrap things up at the desk here, kind of like we normally do. Okay, so here we are back at the desk. It was a lot of fun today. It was so cool to get to share this with you guys. I'm going to be playing this the remainder of the week. We've got some shorter days coming up in our Persona a Day series, so this is just the perfect chance to mix something else into things. I've always liked the retro idea, especially when a lot of these retro games I grew up with, so they weren't retro when they came out to me, but they are now definitely by today's standards. But they all seem to hold up so well in different facets. This is just such tight platforming, amazing music, and it really rewards solid play. Yeah, if you rush, sometimes you can be rewarded, but if you take too much time, sometimes you'll be punished. It's just a really good balancing act. The game will show you everything you need to do, and until you can execute properly, you're going to have some challenges, but once you do, it's just that really cool feeling of learning the pattern and executing it just right. And this is a part of a trilogy of games on the Super Nintendo. This is just the first of the 3 Donkey Kong Country games there, so there's a lot more to see as we go forward, but for the first day, it was so much fun seeing what we did see. I made it through the first 2 bosses, and I won't say all the levels went flawlessly, but I don't expect they're going to. I'm sure we'll see more challenges going forward, but even with that, I've been having a lot of fun with them. There was never one of those, desk slam moments or anything like that. And even stopping now, it's like there's that part of me that's like, man, I just want to keep going, and I want to see what comes next and what comes next. But like putting down a good chapter book, I think we'll just kind of put that bookmark in for today, and that'll give us something fun to look forward to tomorrow. So I want to thank you so much for being with me today and sharing this classic game with me. It was a lot of fun. I hope I can see you again tomorrow as we keep playing, but if it doesn't work for your schedule, I'm going to have this uploaded to YouTube, so this entire series will have its own playlist so you can watch from start to finish to see just how my travels through Donkey Kong Country end up. I want to thank you so much for being here. My name is Tom Shima. I know it feels like it's a quick place to stop, but I'm going to try to keep that anticipation going for tomorrow, so this is where we're going to call it. But thank you so much for spending your time with me today. I hope we can do it again soon, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you very much, and take care.